Alrighty. Hello everybody. Welcome back to another video. So, I'm currently level 29 in the Marathon Server Slam, and I wanted to just give some thoughts and opinions. Maybe swayed some people to buy the game, maybe swayed some people from buying the game, depending on what you're looking for. To start out, my personal thoughts on the game, I really like it. I think it's very fun. I do think that the Server Slam is only a slice of what is to come. I think there is a lot of stuff missing, but I'll get into that in a moment. So right off the bat, this is going to be our main menu. I know a lot of people have issues with the UI. I personally don't have issues with the UI. I think it's pretty intuitive, but then again, I play a lot of games, so maybe it's not. I also think that if anywhere on this, like in these like menus and stuff, you can always hit this little button down here and it will kind of give you a tooltip to everything. Again, maybe there could be some like more intuitive stuff added, but there is that. Let's see. So starting with loadout and stuff, this is our basic loadout. I did find it very beneficial to actually read some of the items descriptions for those who are having issues, just like kind of figuring out what everything is, but that can be a later video in the future. Let's see, I do like the armory system. I think having these kind of sponsored kits every day is really cool. And then you unlock a lot of this stuff later down the line when you level up your factions and stuff. All the factions are pretty easy to level up. You just need to get like the materials and then of course do the contracts for them. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to point out, just because I know it was a big contention online, is ammo. So you can buy ammo down here, but you can also make ammo using different materials that you can find in the game. And I think the scarcity of ammo in general kind of makes these even common items pretty valuable, even though they're just like common items. So I like the system how it is, but I know that some people are just fighting all the time, so they run out of ammo pretty quickly. And again, that's something else we'll get into in a minute. Anyway, moving on. Vault. This is my vault. It's not, I think this is the second upgrade you can get as far as space. Pretty run-of-the-mill vault. Got your character, all your stats on the left here, and then, you know, depending on what mods you have on, will increase and decrease these stats. You have your shell select screen. Yeah, whenever you pick your shell, tells you kind of everything that you need to know about your operator guy and whatnot. And then you have your customized screen. So let's see, I have a few skins for glitch here. I do like some of the weapon skins, like this is pretty cool. I like that they fit the theme. They're not too crazy, but they're not exactly, like, I don't know, there's an all purple gun, but it kind of makes sense for the gun. This, what is this one called? The red line for this particular gun is really cool. I think the cosmetics, again, are pretty decent, but I hope that there are some more interesting ones down the line. That being said, I hope that they aren't like crazy, weird skins, and that I hope they fit the theme of Marathon in general. Speaking of, you know, kind of some lackluster, like this one's pretty cool. I kind of like the orange and black. There's definitely ones that are like a little more like this could probably have been a little, I don't know, maybe there's something more to this, something more to the character model. Maybe there's a lot that they maybe could add in the future for sure. But overall, I do like that it is very like simplistic, and it doesn't get in the way of like, you know, recognizing that this is glitch or there's not too much crazy stuff going on. That being said, you know, it would be nice if we get some cooler stuff in the future. This is also like a pretty cool one, but again, you know, very simple ones to start for sure. Let's see. Little knife skin. I like this profile stuff. Is pretty cool. Some cooler emblems in here. Some cool art. This is seeing a lot of people rocking this one. Okay. And then moving on, this is our faction screen. And I do want to point out here that there are 3 more upgrades to just the vault. This is a really in-depth system right here. Like even just this stuff, you know, increasing our heat capacity is huge. I can only imagine when this like is like fully upgraded. And then you also unlock like purple backpacks and sponsored kits from them once you get enough upgrades in this tree. And every faction has a tree that you can kind of upgrade. This one, the multiplayer one, or not multiplayer, the PvP focused faction even has like a melee damage upgrade, which is kind of huge, and finisher siphons. So finisher siphon is crazy because it increases the amount of like shield recharge you get after you finish a player, which is crazy. There's also a mod. I'll show you that real quick. But yeah, I like the faction trees. I don't think the, you know, and then each one of the factions kind of gives you stuff. Like New Cal is your, you know, health focused one, and like these 2 upgrades give me daily free shield charges and patch kits, which is health. So health charges and shield charges for free every day. Traxxas is like our more gun mod and attachment focused faction, which is really nice. So when you do lose some stuff, you know, you don't have to like completely start from square one again. Midas are explosives and kind of mobility, I want to say. Yeah, mobility and explosive faction. Arcane is our melee damage, kind of lifesteal, and obviously PvP faction. And upgrading them will be the way you want to go if you want to do PvP stuff. And then last but not least, we have our section, and they do a lot more of like the character mods, and let's see, you can get the energy amps, which is like your ability stuff, ability cooldown. So like ability character focused faction here. So with each one you upgrade, you know, you're kind of picking your play style you want to play into. So I think that's really cool. I think this is dope. I really like this system. Again, I'm gonna like a lot of the systems, and you know, not everybody will share that opinion, but this is just my thoughts. Okay, moving on. Last thing here is the codex. The codex could be a little bit more intuitive for sure. I think if any place needs improvement, it's the codex, because I played for like the first like 15 levels. I didn't know that I had to go to the codex to look at all my runner skins that I can unlock. So like right here, this is the mastery for glitch, the mastery skin, and there is like a lot to offer in the codex. I think for each character you have a mastery skin for them. So once you do like a bunch of challenges, you'll be able to unlock a skin for them that just shows that, hey, I did all these challenges. And some of them are actually pretty hard. Like this one, defeat 3 runners during a single echo pulse activation, which is, you know, they'd have to be pretty close, and then you get like a little skin for it. But that's not the only place you get skins. So every faction, and these ones are really easy to get. All you have to do is run a sponsored kit, get into the game, and then exfil, and you'll get 6 skins. So really cool way to get skins. I really like this. This is awesome. Seeing a way to get cosmetics in game that aren't like super hard, and you know, a lot of these look pretty good. I would say that these are pretty decent for, again, something free where all you have to do is really load up into a game and then dip. You also get weapon skins from each one of them once you achieve certain ranks with them and stuff like that. And each one has skins for every character. I personally like the New Cal stuff a lot. I think New Cal is probably going to be one of my go-to factions to start. I really like this Recon skin. And then Traxxas has our orange and black vibe that we had earlier. Mida is a little lackluster in my opinion, but maybe you like this color palette. And then, yeah, more there. And then the only one that doesn't have them right now is Arcane or Arachne. So I'm guessing some of them, maybe we'll see more in the full game, because, yeah, there are some that just don't have stuff right now. But yeah, all these guns are so cool. They're these like gun skins that are free in the game. All you have to do is play the game. Pretty dope. Really liking this stuff so far. I think you can even get stuff from just, yeah, like exploration. No gun skins. This is like our whatever lore tabs. If you're into that stuff. But yeah, there's various things you can unlock just by playing the game. There's even like a gun skin here for just killing USC stuff, right? And I hope that in the full game we see more of this, and there are more ways to earn stuff. But you know, time will tell. One sec, I gotta grab some more. Sorry about that. Mouth is getting a little dry. All this yapping. Okay. So, yeah, the Codex actually could be a great place to get skins and whatnot. And even here, like, just using weapons will get you a free skin for every gun in the game. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Really liking the Codex. The only problem with it is, as of right now, you wouldn't know that you could get all that if you didn't find out from somebody else or like really dive into like these menus and stuff. So I do think they need to kind of work on that and be like, oh yeah, in the Codex you can unlock, you know, lore tabs and cosmetics or something like that. But yeah, moving on. We only have 2 maps in this build of the game. I'm guessing this is a previous build, and the full build is different because we don't even have like berries. I don't know, we're just missing some stuff in this one. So yeah, as far as like in-game, I'll probably put up some of my gameplay here. There's a couple things that I've seen that sometimes I agree with and sometimes I don't. I know a lot of people are saying there needs to be more teams on the map. I can agree, but I would say maybe 1 or 2 more teams tops, just because there are times when I was playing and I really didn't know if there were robots shooting at me or players, you know? So I think that the PvP should not be, the PvP should be the focus, but don't sleep on the PvE. Just killing bots will net you ammo, weapons. Like if you need like a new gun or whatever, you can go in and just grab like white versions of this overrun AR and then throw a bunch of attachments on it and make it blue. And there is a lot from just looting rather than going full PvP all the time. I do want that to remain the focus of the game, but I do think players are underestimating how much loot you can get from just shooting bots and stuff. Like, I think I saw a couple days ago somebody say it's a waste of ammo to use on PvE enemies. That is anything but the truth, in my opinion. I was fighting let's see, that, yeah, I don't know. Especially when you're trying to fight some of these robots that are like that have the exotic shields and, you know, keep spawning enemies as you're fighting it. I have a great example of that I'll probably put up in this video as I'm talking about this. But it was literally like, you know, I would put maybe a few mags into them, right? And then I would have to go check to see if we're getting pushed by a team. And I'd have to alternate this as my team and I were trying to take down the spot, just because it was so tanky, which I like. I don't think this is a negative. It's tanky, it's hard to take down. You have like a lot of bots spawning in, and it got to this point where even I was like, what's shooting at me? Who's coming up those stairs? Is this going to be a robot, or is this going to be a player? Which I think is really cool. I like that tension. I like the intensity of that interaction. So yeah, I don't know how many teams should be added to the map. There were times when, yeah, we would wipe, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 teams, and then it'd be like, okay, maybe like one more team would have been nice here. So the maps are pretty small, especially if you can, like, you know, you kind of know where you're going, know what you're doing and all that jazz, and you know what to listen for as far as like, okay, there's going to be a team here because this sound's going off or something like that. So I wouldn't hate a couple more players on the map, but definitely have to be careful with it because it can get overwhelming really fast, especially if you're trying to do some quests. I know I was trying to do maintenance, a quest in maintenance on Dire Marsh, and Dire Marsh is like the PvP map. And maintenance is somewhere where everybody goes to do PvP, so getting that quest done was kind of hard because you'd have to fight 3 teams and then do the quest. So I'd be open to it, but we'll definitely have to monitor how that ends up shaking out. Let's see, did I have anything else to... Oh, yes. I think the story and season 1 content, because this is a live service game, not saying that the base story content is also going to be important, but I think overall the base story and the season 1 story and how this world is going to progress is going to be a huge thing, and that's what's going to keep a lot of players here. So I'm really hoping that's good, because I've had a lot of fun here, but I need reasons to keep playing. Like, and they don't need to be big ones. Like, even right now, it's like, okay, well, I have a full vault, right? And I can go take this into wherever, but I kind of want, like, I want more vault space, you know? It's funny that I'm complaining about vault space in Bungie's new game when Destiny exists. But, like, even just getting more vault space is a reason to play. You know, getting some of these sponsored kits would be a reason to play. And right now, you can't really get these sponsored kits because, well, you know, just one, our progress is going to be reset, and 2, I think there's probably a rank cap for each faction right now. So that's a reason to keep playing. You know, unlocking some of these exotic and legendary items for every faction is going to be a reason to keep playing. And then as you do that, you know, you can go buy things from these factions that make, you know, you losing a certain run hurt just a little bit less. So yeah, we'll see how this looks in the full version. I think it'll be a lot better. This is just a server slam. And then just some little notes here and there as far as tips is, if you're having trouble understanding something, and I know this is going to be a big ask for in general in the modern day, is just read the item description. A lot of times it'll tell you what it's used for and why it's important. And maybe you can't do that in game, but you know, if you extract with like a legendary item, it should tell you what it's used for, or you know, even it tells you where to find it and stuff too. So when you go back into a run, you can, and you need to find one of these things, you can kind of figure that out or know where to look. But yeah, overall, I think Marathon's pretty great. I had a lot of fun with the Server Slam. Looking forward to the full release. There are some things that could be looked at. I think, the last thing, maybe some gun balancing just a little bit. The shotgun is pretty powerful right now, as well as the sniper, even though I love the sniper. If you get a fully upgraded sniper, you can down people with a single headshot with like blue shields or something. That being said, I don't think they should be too much weaker. I think if, you know, I walk up to someone with a shotgun, it should down them in 1 or 2 shots. Or like 1 shot in a melee or something like that. Like, these things need to be powerful, because unless you have it unlocked with a faction, you're not going to find them that often. I think I have one gun here. This gun is the energy shotgun, and I have not seen one of these at all on anybody else since I've been playing. So yeah, anyway, I think that's pretty good as far as like my thoughts and how, you know, I've been enjoying the Server Slam. I'm really looking forward to full release, and we'll probably do another video when that comes out. But as of right now, I'm really liking the game, and I think there's some minor tweaks here and there, and it'll be pretty good to go. And then it'll really just depend on the content they have planned for the game and the content in the full release. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it informative to some degree. And if you like any of the content on the channel, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.